Okay.
Got boogers? We good?
How we doing?
Good. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Good. It's a fabulous, wet, damp morning
It is wet and
in
damp.
Indianapolis.
And the baby's sleeping, though, so that's good.
We have a baby sleeping.
Yeah.
We never addressed that.
We have not yet.
There was a wide gap in podcasts.
And that's because your girl was pregnant.
Yep. And we had a baby.
We did.
And she's perfect.
She is.
She's about 3 months old. So we are excited because she's a little more, she sleeps for longer periods now.
Mm-hmm.
We feel a little more comfortable.
Yep. She's a little more independent.
Yeah, definitely.
Proud of her.
Definitely leave her.
Maybe we'll have her as a guest in the future. Because, babies know a lot about weddings.
What, in 20 years?
Yeah. Okay, so for those listening, Caleb has no idea what I have planned for today.
Yeah, I'm oblivious.
We're going to play Classy or Trashy.
Classy or Trashy?
Yeah.
Oh.
We are going to play Classy or Trashy.
So we're not done judging people.
That is correct.
That's what you're saying.
This may go terribly, horribly wrong, and we're going to do it anyway.
If you're listening to this, that means that somehow it made the cut. We didn't just delete the recording.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so some of them are pretty obvious. Some of them are like not controversial, but like some people have really strong opinions one way or the other.
Are these just like choices that people have made?
These are like wedding trends and like things you can wear to a wedding or things that happen at weddings, just like wedding related events. Okay. You're going to love it. You're either going to love it or hate it.
Okay.
You might hate it. I don't know. I have 3 answers. I have trashy, classy, and it depends.
It depends.
Yeah,
okay.
It depends.
All right. How long is this list? How much time should we devote to each topic?
That's a good question. I don't know. I may skip some because some of them are not good.
I can always edit them out.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Ready?
Might as well do them all.
Okay, let's start with an easy one.
Okay.
I really just wanted to I have my opinions written down. I just wanted to see what you thought.
Okay.
We think pretty similarly, but
Yeah.
I'm curious as to why you think what you think.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So first one's pretty easy. Uplighting.
Okay.
We've talked about this so many times.
Okay.
Classy or trashy?
Okay.
Uplighting.
There's a caveat. It's trashy.
Yeah.
But there's only one caveat, and it is if your venue has nothing for
Decoration. Yeah.
There's only like a banquet hall or like the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
That is the only exception, and even then, find an alternative before you have to resort.
That's
to
it. See, I thought that one would be pretty easy.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this next one. Asking.
Hold on. Pause real quick.
Okay.
Should we talk about why it's trashy?
Yeah, go ahead. Well, I don't.
God, it's just outdated.
I was gonna say I'm not sure I could pinpoint why it's trashy. I just don't like it.
There's just better alternatives.
And trashy's not necessarily when I say I should have prefaced with this. When I say classy or trashy, I really just mean do you like it in a wedding or do you not? Like for us, it may not be. It's not like trashy like cheap because uplighting is really expensive.
Yeah, I feel like we should justify it at least a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe this is what we're thinking here. At one point in time, because a lot of DJs they'll bring their own lighting fixtures, and a lot of the time they'll have uplight.
Right.
And for a long time, it was completely conventional to just trust your DJ with the extra lighting.
Yeah.
With bringing the disco balls, the rotating spinny lights.
Yeah.
Think like prom in 2012.
I love the rotating spinning. I don't actually, but I love because I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And for a long time that was like cool and fine. And all the different colored lights. That's not. It's just gross now. It's kind of lazy wedding planning. If I'm being honest.
Yeah.
To just be like, yeah, whatever lights your DJ brings, use those. Because you never really, if you're gonna do it that way, you have to communicate with your DJ and say, this is what I don't like about it. Right. First of all, what equipment do you have?
Right.
And please don't bring that. That's fine. Communicate.
Yeah.
You can ask.
I can think of one particular wedding where I don't think it was 2 brides, and I don't think they really knew what they were getting into with their DJ. He was local and probably on the cheaper side, and he didn't do a bad job with the music, but he did bring like I don't even know, like a light up love sign. He brought what's the cold
sparks.
Cold sparks. It was cool.
Which we actually like.
It's cool in pictures. A little bit weird in person. Just because you can see like the box that it comes out of.
But that's kind of.
But all that, you see what I'm saying? Like they kind of what you're trying to say is talk to your DJ, and I agree with you because
Talk to your DJ.
what you can, like, you may not know what you're getting yourself into.
At our own wedding, our DJ had no lights.
Well, we didn't ask for any.
We asked for no lights.
Yeah, I think we
didn't
did. Well,
we
I think it might have been
like, no lights.
it might have been an additional cost too.
That too. Either way,
cheap.
Either way, we found that low warm lighting, yellows and oranges, and like dimmed down, especially for like a nighttime reception, is enough. If music's not bringing it, the lights are not gonna help.
Yeah, and when I think of bad uplighting, I don't like uplighting just by itself, but when I think of extra bad uplighting, it's like purple or green or blue, like the weird, like colors that don't go with anything.
Colors that were used in the 2000s.
Right.
Because most of this equipment is old and outdated.
Well, and don't get me wrong, you can wear like blue bridesmaids dresses. That's fine. But like once you add your wedding colors into like a lighting idea, it just kind of throws it off, I think.
The bright colors have been out for years.
Okay, we've talked about uplighting for a long time, so I'm going to have to shorten this list a little bit.
All right, well, we'll just, whatever. We can chop it up and make it 2 episodes.
Okay. Okay. I like this one. This is a good one.
Okay.
Asking for money instead of gifts.
Classy.
I agree. I also have classy written down.
Yep.
I think it's, I mean, obviously not like classy and like we prefaced, but I think it's totally appropriate now. Like, totally. Because a lot of couples are living together before they get married. A lot of couples, like nobody needs a new toaster. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like that's not, that I don't need you to get me a crock pot personally. I want you to contribute to my honeymoon fund.
This is, and I think this is something that if you're going to be a guest at a wedding, you should know. I don't want an air fryer. I want $250 that you were going to spend on it.
Right. And notice how we've mentioned 3 different kitchen utensils.
It's always kitchen.
It's always like, stop. I don't really want bath towels either. Like
no.
So when we got married, we did a registry, but it was super small because we knew that our old family members would want to get us gifts. And sometimes it's cheaper to get a gift than it is to contribute like $200. But we made it small on purpose because then because we had a honeymoon fund on our website, and then when at the wedding we had our Venmo just kind of out and was like, hey, contribute to our honeymoon fund. Like, please give us money. We're poor and we're newlyweds and we don't need, a new rug.
we were going on our honeymoon.
Yeah. Sure.
Right after our wedding. So we needed the cash.
Yeah, I think asking for money, especially if you frame it as like our honeymoon fund, I think that's so. Or like I've seen like contribute to our new house fund, like that's you know what I mean.
Don't frame it as like a we're married and just want money. It's like, what is it going toward? That helps
people like that.
Yeah, people like that.
That's a classy way to do it.
Another thing I was going to add too real quick is if you specifically say please no gifts, just money and like cards with money and gift cards and stuff like that, that's one less thing you have to decorate is a gift table.
That's
true.
You
can just put a card box on your like your guest book table or like another somewhere else, somewhere by the entrance.
Definitely. Because
gift tables they can be a whole,
it's
especially
a whole thing.
Especially if you're renting tables. That table, we don't need that. So that's a $50
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Okay. Wearing jeans. Oh, sorry. Wearing jeans in the wedding, like as the wedding party, having jeans is part of the uniform.
Depends.
Oh, does it? Because I did not say that.
It does depend.
I didn't say that.
I have seen some country weddings where, if done right, the jeans don't look bad.
I cannot think of a single wedding photo that I've seen where I have enjoyed jeans.
I'm not saying I enjoyed it, but I have seen it where it is the vibe.
Okay.
And if you are militant about, especially like if I was the like groom or the best man and I was kind of coordinating the outfits, because you're not gonna rent jeans, you're just gonna go buy jeans.
Right. They all have to be the same color.
As a groomsman. Yeah. You have to get the same, maybe not necessarily the same style, but the same color.
Yeah.
No rips, no tears, no intentional fraying. Stonewashed, maybe if you're all doing it, and you've got everything else has to be classy.
Right.
You have to wear either like really nice boots or really nice, shoes.
Yeah.
With matching everything else.
Right, a suit jacket for sure, in my opinion.
I don't know. I've seen it with the long sleeve shirts and a vest and ties, and like maybe like if you're gonna wear a hat, gotta be like a nice dress. Cowboy hat. What are they called? Stilettos? They call stilettos?
I have no idea. I'm rolling my eyes as far back in my head as I can, just because I don't think jeans. I think jeans are trashy.
You gotta dress like you are performing at the Opry if you're gonna wear jeans.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I know what you're saying, but that's not a look that I enjoy. So I don't know. I feel like you don't have to go super. See, and here's the problem: jeans are obviously cheaper than suits. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like you need to go super, super fancy necessarily for your wedding, but I just feel like jeans are just not a good look. Not for a wedding.
I think that it can be.
Okay. Well, here, let me follow it up then. Because my next one is wearing jeans as a guest.
Trashy. Trashy.
Okay.
Even if the wedding party's wearing jeans, I'm never going to wear jeans to a wedding.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
We had people wear jeans to ours.
I need to collect my thoughts here because it's usually trashy.
We had people wear jeans to our wedding.
If you are a member of the family and you know that the wedding party is wearing jeans, if you can class it up like they are, the bolo tie with a nice dress coat,
the bolo tie,
like the country look, like the rancher.
Okay.
If you're looking like a Texas oil baron. You know, you can look classy.
Yeah, that's fair.
As that look.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, what is it? Yellows? I don't watch Yellows.
I don't either.
Like, you know, how they
that's
how
fair.
they dress.
Okay.
You can class it up.
That's fine.
If you're like a +1, like my girlfriend's families do not wear jeans.
No.
Don't show. If you're an unknown to this wedding,
don't
wear jeans.
That is so fair.
Because that's the worst. If you set that expectation out, you're like, black tie. I want everybody to look clean, and then your cousin's boyfriend shows up wearing jeans and a Fox Racing shirt. I don't know.
Wow.
It's a bad look.
Yeah, that is very specific.
Sorry.
It's like you've seen it.
We grew up in rural Indiana, so that's kind of the look.
That's funny. Okay. I don't know where to go next. I have so many. Okay.
All right.
Elopements. Like eloping instead of having a wedding.
Elopements, classy.
Right, but
we'll say this: destination elopements.
Yeah.
Classy.
Okay. Destination. Yeah, that's good. Here's the thing:
if you're going up to the mountains, if you're going somewhere,
Here's the thing: I totally love the idea of an elopement because, like, I love the intimacy of it. I think it's awesome. Here's where the problems come: is that sometimes, depending on where you are eloping, it can be just as or more expensive as a regular wedding.
Right. If it's a destination, which is kind of the only way I would do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Travel can be bad, and you're also, if you're a true elopement is going to be just, you got the two of you, an officiant and a photographer.
Yeah.
But most people will do like an air quotes elopement where parents are invited and siblings and that.
Yeah. Which is fine. Totally. I'm totally here for that. And I also would have said classy. Just be careful with the cost is the only thing. Yeah.
Well, my point was, like, if you're asking nobody else to come, it's one thing. But then if you start asking people to spend $1,000 on a plane ticket and to stay at the same resort that you guys are at, that is asking a lot of your guests. That's what I would say about it.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Let's talk about. I hate this one. I'm gonna say trashy right up front because I hate this one.
Okay.
Tapping glasses to get the couple to kiss. Because that used to be super common.
Yeah.
And some people still try it.
Some people try it.
I personally hate it.
Did we make it a rule at our own?
We didn't have any glass.
Oh, that's right.
Everything was like a plastic cup.
Yeah.
Because it was cheaper and easier to throw away.
Trashy, but that's
Wait,
we did it, whatever. Yeah, we didn't have any glass. We had glass at the head table.
Yeah.
And I think
we told them not to tap it.
Yeah, we might have. Ironically, I've done it.
Yeah.
To if I've been like a best man and like done to like piss somebody off. But,
yeah. I feel like I've seen you do it.
Probably.
Like at friends' weddings.
Ironically, I've done it. I'm not doing it if they don't get the joke.
That or if as a vendor. Like Absolutely
Oh,
not.
absolutely,
Absolutely not.
absolutely not.
What are your what's your immediate reaction though? Classy or trashy?
Trashy,
Yeah. Okay. I thought so.
trashy.
I thought so. What
Well, just
about
don't do it.
what
They're gonna
about?
kiss enough.
Yeah, that's fair. What about wedding party entrances? Like announcing your wedding party.
That's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to call it trashy. I don't like it personally,
I don't either. It
but
depends.
I'm not
I
gonna
think.
judge you if you do
It
it.
depends.
If you're really close with your wedding party, and it's a bunch of like couples, um, like your best man is married to your maid of honor. Like if you have like a super tight
Yeah.
group of friends, I'd say maybe.
Yeah. The problem, what makes them usually trashy is like the music. The
Yeah.
music and like the way, like the dances, like that they enter with. I just walk in, bro. I don't just walk in.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I think you should do a grand entrance as a couple,
Yeah, I agree with that.
especially if you are having a reception somewhere that's not your ceremony space. Kind of reintroducing you
Yeah,
to get
that's
the
a
party
good
started.
point.
It gets energy up really quickly.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is what we would say. Or if you're gonna do the rest of your wedding party, just introduce them as a group. Have the whole wedding party come out and dance, and then do the couple.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Then do you
I think
guys.
that's good.
That's kind of how I would do it.
Yeah, that's fair. This is something that I don't know if you know that we did at our wedding, but we did.
Okay.
Remaining seated for the bride's entrance.
Yes.
This could go either way.
It totally go either way.
I think it's classy. It makes for better pictures.
Yes.
For me, I told our officiant to tell everybody to remain seated.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to be the only one standing. Like it's my it's my wedding and I want to stand.
You're a short queen.
Also, I'm a short queen.
Yeah, if you're on the shorter side, which I mean, usually are.
Yeah.
You know, and you're
I
the
don't
one
know.
that's
I like
walking
it.
in. I think it was nice. I think it made for really good pictures.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of on the fence about it.
Yeah.
Some people want their guests to stand because it's a sign of respect.
Right.
Like you are only standing for the bride.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's kind of the thought behind it. So
yeah. And that's why I said it could go either way. Some people are like,
Yeah.
why are you, like I've seen people say, why are we sitting?
yeah, that's neither. Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way, that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think it could go either way.
Cash bars.
It's fine if I know in advance.
Yeah.
Cash bars are. I am fully support a cash bar.
Okay. Interesting.
But if it's not on your invitation and it's like, I've been to weddings where it's the closest ATM is 30 minutes away and
Yeah.
no one told me it was a cash bar.
Yep.
And then I've got what am I supposed to do? Not drink?
I guess.
I'll buddy up with the bartender
I feel
and
like
try to
that's
get a
why
free drink.
that's why people do it, is to partly to save money, and sometimes if your family's crazy, they're like, we're doing a cash bar, not telling anybody,
Yeah.
so no one can drink.
if you're truly trying to restrict alcohol because your family gets weird, either don't have alcohol or don't invite that family.
Yeah, which is controversial by itself.
Or offer some kind of shuttling or car service or something that's gonna get people home safely.
Yeah.
You know, but at a hotel where people can just go up to their rooms and whatever. But it's hard not to feel responsible if something was to happen.
Mm-hmm.
If it's like, well, you know, I had an open bar at our wedding and Uncle Jerry got, I don't have an Uncle Jerry, but like, you know, Uncle Jerry got drunk and drove home and got in a car accident.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to not feel responsible for that kind of thing, but there is a point where
It's not on you.
it's not your fault.
Yeah.
You know, it's your guest. If it's your guest problem. Now you can do everything you can to mitigate those issues. But I don't think that a cash bar is the way to do it, personally.
That's fair.
If you're gonna do a cash bar, on your invitations, make it clear. On your wedding website, make it clear. Put it in your most wedding websites for couples will have like a questions page that's like,
Right.
where's this? Is there shuttle service? Whatever. Make sure I would put cash bar at the top.
Yeah.
There will be a cash bar. Please bring, you know, drinks. I would say drinks might be $4 to $10 a piece.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly.
I think that's a good idea.
Please tip your bartender.
Right.
Please tip your bartender. As a coordinator vendor, I will always try to make sure that the bar has a tip jar out. I don't care if it's classy or trashy. Tip your service. So that's what I say.
Yeah. Wedding favors.
I can tell you which ones are trashy.
I think they're all trashy.
I think
every single one of them.
Photo booth is the only one that I think is not trashy. We liked a photo booth. We had fun. Don't act like we didn't have fun.
I'm not saying we didn't have fun. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. As a bride, I don't know that I would pay for that. It's cool, but like, I don't know. I don't know that I need a photo that says so and so's wedding 2025.
Some people really like that, and some people really like playing cards. But I don't know. That's not my thing. I think a photo booth can be cool.
Okay.
But the candy bags, like branded cups,
anything,
branded anything. I can't tell you.
Like shot glasses.
I have a I want to start a collection of shot glasses and cups from Goodwill that have people's names and wedding dates on it, because I could make a collection in 5 seconds. Every single Goodwill I go to has half the glass section is like wedding favors.
Mm-hmm. Well, and
people don't keep that stuff.
I think that's why I put trashy, is because I think you're right. Other than a photo booth, most people are doing branded things, and I just don't feel like I need a pen that has your name on it.
I'm not going to use a pen that has your name on it.
No, I don't. That's not how I want to remember stuff.
No. Pictures are what you want to remember things by, which is why I think a photo booth is.
Okay, I got 2 more.
Okay.
Unassigned or open seating. Like, no, you just sit where you want.
For ceremony, that's the norm, right? So that's
sure,
fine.
Sure. I guess I mean reception.
Yeah. So ceremony you'll reserve first couple rows for family. Anyways, for reception, I think that it is a good way to do it if everybody's cool. And what I mean by that is, do your families, you're kind of bringing 2 families together in your marriage, right? And your wedding night is going to be the one night where they are all in the same room together, and it will be the last, except for your funerals, it'll be the last last day that all your families are together. Or like a birthday
party, maybe.
Yeah, maybe, but not that many people, right? I think that if everybody's cool and everything's kosher, then it's fine. I would still reserve a couple tables for close family.
That is still not open seating then.
Not open seating.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying?
I wouldn't do it completely open.
I wouldn't either.
No, I wouldn't do it. We did full assigned seating at our own wedding, and we've done several weddings where they did have assigned seating like that. It's hard to tell whether it works or not when you don't know the guests, like you don't know the people there.
Right.
You can only know if it goes well if no one's fighting. At our own wedding, we had some people that we were like, okay, we don't want these people sitting next to each other because there's bad blood or whatever. We have dramatic families.
That's true.
But we made some really lucky choices with doing that way, so that the people that we didn't want necessarily interacting with other people, they were busy talking to other people.
Right.
So it's a good move if you've got some family issues.
Yeah.
Divorced parents, things like that. Beyond that, I don't really like the idea of it. Kind of screw your own family over by not reserving at least a few tables for them.
Yeah, that's true. I agree. Okay, last one. You ready?
Yep.
Personal vows during this ceremony. Like vows that you have written.
Totally depends.
I agree. I have seen it go very well.
Yep.
I have seen it go horribly wrong.
Yep.
Here's the thing. I love the idea of personal vows, generally speaking. We did like we wrote our pre-written vows, like repeat after me vows. We wrote those ourselves, but we still did repeat after me vows at the altar, and then we did personal vows later.
Yep.
Which was awesome. Now, if you choose to do personal vows up front, I feel like there should be some rules.
Yes.
Like, inside jokes are kind of out because that's hard to, like, no one's going to get that.
Yeah.
What are some other things? I'm trying to think of other things.
Dirty jokes.
Dirty. I was going to say sex life needs to stay out of it.
Sex stuff. Your grandma doesn't need to hear that stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like when I've seen it go wrong, sometimes it's that one of them, usually the groom, writes like 4 words.
Yeah.
And then the bride like pours her heart out, and it's just like weird.
Yeah. Yeah. If one person's written a novel.
Yeah.
And the other person doesn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Usually the groom. So we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a problem. I would if you're gonna do personal no, another thing quick before I go on that talk. Another thing I would say is that if you have stage fright or issues public speaking,
yeah, that's good.
If you have if you're trying to do that at a wedding, it's not gonna get any easier. It's gonna get worse. Like, it's gonna get harder.
Yeah.
You get shaky voice if you often kind of lose confidence when you're up talking in front of people. Your wedding might not be the time to figure that out.
Yeah, to practice.
Yeah, it's a lot easier and it's a lot less nerve-wracking to just repeat what the officiant says.
Well, on the flip side of that also, I like it when they cry.
Yeah.
But if you know that you're going to lose your shit, like you're going to cry and bawl, it's going to be rough, probably don't do public vows like us. We bawled like babies when we did our private written vows. Probably good that we didn't do them publicly.
Yeah, I don't know that I would have been able to get through my what I wrote, but at our ceremony.
Yeah, that's cute. That's good.
It can be endearing, but yeah, like you said, it can be weird if you're sniffling for 5 minutes trying to get through a page. Ooh, excuse me. Through a page of vows,
Yeah. I would like to say that I feel like you did not have hard opinions like I did during this, during these.
Oh, that's it? This whole list?
Yeah, that's it.
Oh gosh, I can come up with all kinds of things that are trashy.
We could probably save that for another day.
I mean, we got a little bit of time.
You got any you want to lay on me?
Let me think about it for a second.
Because I did let you talk a lot. I'll give you that. I already had my answers. You had to think about yours.
Yeah. Weekday weddings.
Actually, I had that on the list and I didn't bring it up. I have it written down.
I
said it depends. Here's why.
Nah.
Friday
doesn't count.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. That's why it depends.
Yeah.
Because I think Friday's great. Here's the thing. No one wants to get drunk. I mean, except for us. No one wants to get drunk on a Tuesday night and then have to go to work on Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's rough.
It's a cheap way to do it.
It is cheap. but no one's coming.
No one wants to come.
No one's coming. If you're gonna do a weekday wedding, just elope.
Yeah. I would say when we say weekday wedding, I think we really mean Sunday through Thursday.
Yeah, any day that you have to go to work the next day.
Yes. Friday and Saturday can be good.
Yeah.
Friday's evenings.
Yeah.
That's when we did ours. That was a good time. You're still kind of asking people to take off some work if it's like a little bit of a drive for them.
Yeah.
And your party's not going to last as long.
Which actually is exactly what happened at ours. It worked out. Everybody was fine, and nobody's going to complain because it's your wedding. But we never really heard anything about it later. Our parents were cool with it. Everybody was willing to take off work for us, which was awesome. Everybody was willing to do that, and I loved that. Just make sure, I guess, if you're choosing to do a Friday wedding, that your people are on your side about it.
Yep. Weddings that are all-day affairs.
Ugh.
Like ceremony at noon, party goes till midnight.
I'm tired just thinking about it.
I know. It's exhausting.
It is exhausting. Here's the thing. So my initial reaction is trashy because it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Now, there are weddings culturally that do that.
That are several days.
Yeah, some are several days. Some, start at 8 a.m. and end at
8 p.m. the next day.
Right.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean,
Like some culturally,
what are we
and
what are
that's
we
a little bit
thinking?
different.
We're thinking like Hindu weddings.
Yeah, Hindu
primarily,
or like
for the multiple
I think
day
Indian
affairs.
weddings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hindu. You're right.
Yeah, exactly.
Those
Indian
weddings, yeah, they last a long time, and that's totally fine. And you know what you're getting into when you attend those weddings because you know that it's often you know what you're getting into.
Well, you're often already part of that culture.
That's right. That's right. Now, as far as like an American wedding,
West white people.
yeah,
weddings.
West white people wedding, I would prefer. Wait, ours was so short. Our whole like from start to finish was 5.5 hours, I think, because we went from 6. Ceremony started at 6:30, and lights were up at 11.
Yep.
Which worked out well for us.
But what are the benefits? 'Cause I got a long list of benefits.
I don't know. I just think that for me, it's nobody's tired at the end, and also you can go do other stuff when it's over.
Yeah, that's part of it. We have been to several weddings and done several weddings that by 9 o'clock, half of your guests have left, either because they're older and they're done partying, or they have kids, they want to get them home, or for whatever reason. Yeah. And so by that point, if half your guests are gone, and you've only got, you invited 100 people and 80 came and 40 people have left,
right?
Your party's kind of over. Because at that point, I don't know how many weddings we've been to where it's just the wedding party that is drunk and dancing.
Most
for
of
3
them,
hours.
honestly.
Yeah, it's a problem.
Yeah.
If the party's over, the party's over.
Yeah.
So, but you don't want the party to be done at 7 o'clock. So we recommend the going starting later, ending later kind of thing.
Yeah.
We like that.
Yeah, I don't know.
If everybody leaves the wedding wanting more, then you did your job.
Yeah,
right.
I agree with that. And also, it's just a hassle. It's a hassle for your vendors. It's a hassle for your bridal party. Like
it's way more expensive.
It's way more expensive. The other thing, from like a woman's perspective, is that if the ceremony's at noon, I gotta get up at 4 a.m. because the hairdresser's coming. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like we gotta start early, especially if there's 5 or 6 of us.
Yep.
We gotta get going pretty freaking early, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think the classy version of an all-day affair is like having a full brunch with your families in your wedding party, but like almost like a second rehearsal dinner.
Yeah,
like where your out-of-town guests are invited to, and you do like a morning brunch thing, and then everybody goes and there's an activity to be done. But there's just if it's too much, it's too much.
Yeah,
it should be a party. So we think that's our philosophy. So kind of plan accordingly.
Yeah,
I don't know. That was kind of
Well, on that note, we kind of got to cut it off anyway because the baby's crying. But
got a baby getting agitated.
Yeah, that was an interesting discussion.
Trashy.
Anything
else?
Classy or trashy?
Bush light at a wedding?
Oh my God. Okay. Good night.